Kensington has been plagued by an opioid crisis for years. Now, another drug on our streets is making a devastating situation catastrophic. According to a medical toxicologist at Temple, a veterinary sedative called Xylazine can be found in 90% of Philadelphia's dope supply. The video you're about to see is hard to watch. Their children are walking amongst this.
When it comes to Pennsylvania's opioid epidemic, Kensington is ground zero.
The streets are lined with garbage. You can smell infection, and there are hundreds of unhoused individuals without access to public restrooms or showers or housing. And it's sad.
Now, a powerful sedative is seeping into more than 90% of Philadelphia's dope supply. Xylazine is a legally sold horse tranquilizer. It's cheap, easy to get, and it's being mixed with fentanyl and heroin. On the street, it's known as Trank, and people with substance abuse disorders often don't realize that they've used it until their skin literally begins to decompose.
You can just walk out into Kensington Avenue and you can smell the rotting flesh. It's awful.
Sarah Laurel is recovering from substance abuse disorder. Her organization, Savage Sisters, helps those suffering with addiction. She's been sounding the alarm on Xylazine for 3 years.
The only thing I can say is because we're boots on the ground here in Kensington, we're dealing with it every day. We see the impact that it's having, and we need to see a little bit more progression with the response.
Dr. Joseph Durazio is Director of Medical Toxicology and Addiction Medicine at Temple Health. He says they've become the epicenter of the Xylazine crisis due to their close proximity to Kensington.
You know, at any one point in time, we probably have 50 patients in the hospital that have complications, serious complications from injection drug use. And so you got to think that all 50 of those patients have been exposed to Xylazine.
Why is Xylazine leading to this necrosis or the death of body tissue?
Are some things that are unknown at this point in time. We see sometimes that people are getting wounds in areas that they're not injecting, so maybe it's not such a local effect. It could be a systemic effect. Vascular effects with this drug. It probably have 15 patients in the hospital who have severe wounds that we're trying to treat.
Xylazine can knock a person out for 3 to 5 days, and because it's not an opioid, drugs like Narcan don't effectively reverse an overdose.
The Narcan works on the part that's fentanyl there, and then we use the oxygen tanks for the respiratory depression that is caused by the Xylazine.
At the Savage Sisters headquarters in Kensington, they regularly see the ravaging effect of these drugs.
Does anything surprise you when people walk through these doors? No. No. We have a gentleman that comes in here and has been coming in every day who has a gaping flesh wound across his chest right next to his heart.
Once a week, she and a team of volunteer nurses hit the streets.
They'll wrap the wounds, they'll clean them out, give them their own take-home kits so that they can rewrap, and so we do what we can. But it is a Band-Aid on a bullet hole.
Since Xylazine isn't intended for humans, it falls into a gray area, and at this point, it's not a controlled substance. But we've learned the DEA is well aware of Xylazine. They recently released a nationwide report about the dangers when it's combined with illicit drugs.
This is kind of like how it's healed. It just heals like a burn. But yeah, this was like all open.
Recovering herself, Melanie Bettis works at Savage Sisters.
Did you know you were using Xylazine?
No, absolutely not. I came here because this was the easiest, most convenient open-air drug market, and it was 15 minutes away from where I was raised.
Her story isn't unique.
So here's the thing. The people that we serve in Kensington are not from Kensington. These children that are on the streets that are unhoused are from Delco, Monco, Bucks, Chester. They're from all over the state. They come to Kensington and they get stuck here. What do parents need to look for? The wounds start as smallpox. They look almost like picking scabs on people's arms. I would say the urgent cares and the emergency rooms out on the main line need to start looking for those wounds and testing for Xylazine. What is it going to take for hospitals to start testing for Xylazine?
Got to be awareness, understanding that's in our community and affecting people. Currently, the way it stands is we need to send it out to a forensic lab that takes days for us to get a response. And so it's not so helpful at the bedside when we're trying to help patients.
Why are you helping these people? They're my friends, so. I used to be homeless in Kensington. I do know what it feels like to need a shower, to just need somebody to know my name. I know what that feels like to be invisible.
We researched a well-known lab in Nashville that does test for xylazine, but it can take up to 3 days for results. And as of this broadcast, there are no test strips in use that detect xylazine in a patient immediately. If you or someone you know needs help, we have put the information for Savage Sisters on our website.